Right, for a second, forget about the fact that the Rwanda bill is not even practical anyway. It's completely chaotic. The flight is unlikely to actually happen because of the European judges, but let's just say it's still part of the border control policies that our ministers and our elected MPs came up with. Civil servants continue to find ways to disobey and try not to do the work they're supposed to be doing. That continues in the Home Office. Civil servants who are supposed to be taking orders from the ministers, some of them are still going to be disobeying. That's why the government have decided to take the next step by sending a letter to Matthew Rycroft, who is the permanent secretary of the Home Office, giving them a warning, saying you guys have to do it. Civil servants have been told that they must comply with a minister's decision to ignore a Rule 39 order from the European Court of Human Rights. Here's a letter clarifying that it would be obviously not a breach of the Civil Service Code, because we've had some woke civil servants coming out recently to say, oh no, this will be a breach of international agreements, international law. We really respect the European Court of Human Rights, and that's why they don't want to break it, instead of actually protecting our country and our kingdom. This is the letter that we have. Dear Matthew, the Safety of Rwanda Asylum and Immigration Bill is currently making its way through Parliament. Clause 5 of the bill deals with interim measures of the European Court of Human Rights and makes clear that it is for a Minister of the Crown, and only a Minister of the Crown, to decide whether the United Kingdom will comply with such an interim measure. If the bill gains royal assent, this provision will become domestic law. The overall effect of the bill will depend on whether it is amended during its passage in Parliament. If it remains in its current form, following royal assent, and in the view of the interest in this issue, guidance would be issued to civil servants to set out the implications of Clause 5 for ministers and civil servants. Then they gave out more details in terms of the colleagues and all the other civil servants, saying as a matter of UK law, the decision as to whether to comply with the Rule 39 indication is a decision for a Minister of the Crown. Parliament has legislation to grant ministers this discretion. Obviously, it's fair enough. Now, I don't like the Rwanda bill. It's not going to be working anyway. We need a more radical solution. We know that, and I don't like this government at this point anyway. But having said that, on principle, as a concept, Parliament, we elect MPs to go to Parliament. They make the legislation. They give the permission and consent to the ministers and the government departments to do something. And when they go to the civil servants, say, can you do this? Unless it's a criminal act, the civil servants have to say yes. If you don't like it, you resign, you go get a job at a cafe in Hackney or whatever you want to do. That's the reality. But of course, the debate continues.